the life of a fisherman, it never gets old. So welcome to the show, come on yo, we're going Ike.
Hey folks, Mike Iaconelli here to answer your social media questions. We got a question from Bill, and Bill's question is, how does barometric pressure affect fish and affect fishing? That's a great question, Bill. Basically I'd look at the barometer as a gauge to how the fish are going to be feeding. And basically on low pressure or falling barometric pressure, those fish are going to be feeding. There are the times when the storm's coming through. It's getting cloudy, it's starting to rain, your barometer's falling. The fish are generally going to be eating. A steady barometer, a barometer that's holding steady, the fishing's going to be okay. The fish are stable. They're in a normal environment. Nothing's crazy's going on. But a rising barometer, a barometer that's actually rising, that's post-frontal. The storm is past. It's bluebird day. There's no wind. It's calm. That's tough. Rising barometer usually indicates tough fishing conditions. So you can use that barometer to gauge how the fish are going to react. When the barometer's falling and steady, I like to power fish, cover a lot of water, fish moving baits, make the fish react. When the barometer's high, it's calm, it's bluebird, it's sunny, I generally like to finesse. Use those gauges in your fishing and you'll catch a few more. And we've got a great question from Chad, and Chad wants to know, what's the best bait for dirty water conditions? Man, that's a great question, and we're all faced with dirty water. A lot of times after a heavy rain, the water gets muddy, gets dirty. What's the best bait to throw? I'm going to give you two, and when there's dirty water conditions, one of the first things I think about is getting tight to the cover. When that water gets dirty, the fish really get next to the cover and get tight to it. And I love fishing a jig in those situations. My number two choice for dirty, muddy water is going to be a bait that has a tremendous amount of vibration. In that dirty water, they really can't see, so they have to go by vibration to find the bait. And one of my favorite baits is a vibrating jig. A lure like the Mullick's Lover or a chatterbait. It has that big blade in the front and creates a tremendous amount of vibration. That's an easy lure for those fish to pick up on and find even in dirty water conditions. So if you have dirty water, if you have muddy water, fish a jig tight to cover, and in between targets in that dirty water, fish a vibration jig, and you're going to catch way more fish. And we've got a question from Cindy, who wants to know, what are some amazing co-angler tips that you could give me? That's a great question, Cindy. I got a chance to fish as a co-angler for 2 or 3 years and learned a lot in the back of the boat. Had an opportunity to fish behind some of the best bass pros in the world, and it was a great learning experience. But I want to give you a couple tips to make you a better angler from the back of the boat. The first one would be to really watch what the guy in the front of the boat is doing. Watch your angler in the front and watch what he's casting at. If you're going down a bank and you're fishing docks, watch what part of the docks he's fishing. Watch how he's retrieving his bait. It's always good to know what he's doing. The second thing I would recommend is to try to fish a lure that's a little different but stays in the same strike zone that your partner's fishing. So if he's fishing a spinnerbait, try a crankbait. If he's fishing a worm on the bottom, try to fish a jig on the bottom. Try to do something just a little bit different. And then the last tip I would give you, Cindy, for being a co-angler is finesse. Finesse, finesse, finesse. I can tell you, a spinning rod, light line, smaller baits is an amazing way to catch fish behind anybody in the front of the boat. Think about those 3 things next time you're a co-angler, and I guarantee you're going to have a better day.
You know I'm fishing hard. You might wanna say that I'm going